is not nothing. So we change that condition to transaction number is greater than transaction data table dot row dot found, and in
It should be
set
less
transaction
than. It
status.
should be less than, not greater than.
Okay, less than. Yeah, sorry, if less than, and in set transaction status variable, we remove the set transaction status activities and use right cell activities there.
Okay. So, if you want to change, do you know how to take a screenshot when there is an exception in RE framework?
So the screenshot workflow is set up in application when there is an application exception. In that in set transaction status, there is a screenshot workflow in application exception.
So, if you want to change the path, where will you change it? The folder path,
Uh, which folder path?
screenshot folder path.
So we will change that. I don't mean exactly know that answer.
It will be there in the config key, screenshot folder.
Answer.
Okay. How do you add reset or retry to a project? Let's say that you are running. Okay. Do you know multi-bot architecture and what is it?
Yes, means multiple actor means running more than one robot to perform a particular process to reduce the time.
Okay. And how will you configure that? And can you explain how that will work in UiPath?
So while scheduling means running a job, we can there is an option to select a robot. So we can select more than one robot there to run that particular job.
Okay. So, how will you set a robot in orchestrator?
So currently in modern folder, they there is we if we create user, it will auto assign robot to that particular user.
Okay. What if it is an unattended user, unattended robot?
So unattended in means in old there is a classic folder. There is option to create robot, so we can create robot manually. But in new orchestrator, I am a bit confused about that how to create it.
Okay. In older orchestrator, do you know how to create it? Can you please explain?
Yeah, in older orchestrator there is a means there is the option like robot, so we can there we can create robot, and there we have a option like attended or unattended robot. We can
How
make
many
it.
years of experience do you have, Rahul, in UI?
I have 2.7 years, and UiPath means I have not yet worked, but I have worked on different RPA tools. Mm,
So for tomorrow's interview, which role are you applying for? Are you going for as a fresher or how are you going?
No, no, it's for your experience role.
How many years of experience?
It's for 2 years of experience.
Okay, can you tell me what are the issues that you have faced over the past 6 months or in your project tenure?
So, likewise, project likewise
Yeah,
means
issues you
what issues
faced.
means.
Exactly. What are the
Hmm?
issues you have faced and how did you resolve them?
So, I have sometimes I have faced selectors issue. There are particular selector where I am not able to select. So, I have used there like JS path. Means there is a particular activity in UiPath like execute JS query. So I use that and copy JS path from inspect element, and I have used that to select that particular element. And also I have faced issue sometimes there are multiple icons with the same selector. Now there in Ariba portal there are comment icon, but all are have the same selector. So we cannot specify which one to select. So there is a select item activity. Uh, so in that we can define the scope like 1, 2, 3. So it will select accordingly.
Okay. So I think short answer for this is in the specific folder you want to publish your package, you need to have user and a machine template. So Pragati is answering, I think, about unattended machine, unattended robot in a modern folder. Okay. So yes, Rahul. You also need to say something about the projects that you have developed. For example, you cannot go and say that only I have issues with selector, or I have issues with select item, because those you will find it only as a fresher, or within first 2 to 3 months of the issue. Okay.
So what
uh,
issue I can tell means in it specific?
you also need to tell about you also need to tell about robot not assigned properly, or robot logs are not properly visible. Sometimes logs will not be updated in the orchestrator. How will you do that? So you can also say that we contacted with UiPath, and with the version that they are using with 2018 or 19, they don't have a specific answer. But robot logs are available in the local machine. If you want, we can check with that.
Okay.
Okay, go in a project perspective so that it will be it will be easier.
Okay.
Okay, so
So Bajran, one
yes,
question here.
yes,
So
please.
when you are talking about the log, it is log level activities only we can use, right?
So like Pragati, there are multiple places where logs will be saved. First thing is in a local Windows machine in which the robot is working. The second one is an orchestrator if the robot is connected to orchestrator. So sometimes what will happen is though the orchestrator is connected with the robot, we will not be able to find those details in the orchestrator or logs. The bot will be running still, but logs will not be available in the previous versions of UiPath like 2018 and 19, because I have faced it. So there is no solution from UiPath right away, but they have updated that in 2020 21, and now logs are visible. But in previous versions, if they are using, they need to go ahead and check in the local machine logs.
Okay, and it is logging is available within orchestrator.
Yes, so there are three ways how we can control the orchestrator logs. First thing is with code. If you are mentioning in the code that okay, this is the path. So there are multiple levels of logs. First one is trace, second one is info, third one is error, fourth one is warning. So all these things. So if you want to say in the hierarchy, the highest one is with the error. So depends, like if you selected info, then everything above info will be logged. If you selected error, everything above error will be logged. But if you are selecting only warning, then info and trace will not be logged in the orchestrator. So those kind of logging mechanisms are available, but in local studio everything will be updated. But in orchestrator also you can set the logging mechanism. And also if you see in the UiPath assistant, there will be log level. What is the log
Yeah.
level that you need to add? So there you can set up if you don't want all the logs to be available in the orchestrator, but you want only specified logs. For example, after info you want to have it, because info is something that we write as a developer. So from there, if you want to have it, we can have it. But trace is something like each and every activity, activity started, right line closed, right line ended, and sequence started, sequence ended. All these things will be available in the trace. Okay, so that you can select which type of logging you want, and you can decide, and you can do it in either in the code or in the robot or in the orchestrator as well, while say creating a robot. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, all the best, Rahul. I think you will be able to cover
Thank you.
most of the questions. The only
Okay.
problematic areas that I normally see with these experienced interviews is you will not be able to answer with respect to the project, but you will be able to answer with respect to activities. That is easier for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have prepared means
Mm.
I have prepared two projects
Mm.
perfectly means to
Okay.
explain like.
Okay. So Rahul, what you do is guide today's team. Like we have created um, I robots in Soumya machine, right? Soumya. Okay. So what we will do, uh, we will be Rahul as a team lead for today's project. Okay. What he will do is he will guide you, and I will help Rahul. So Rahul, have you prepared PDD for yesterday's task?
Yes, I prepared, but it will be not in my current machine. Means I have
Can you
prepared that
upload it?
in.
So can you upload it before our meeting closes? And did anyone prepare a PDD for the task?
Yeah, I have prepared one.
Okay, Soumya, and anyone else?
I have downloaded the template but have not filled it fully.
Okay, and what about others? Okay, try to prepare it because if you don't prepare it, you will not understand what exactly you need to do. Soumya, can you please share your screen? Ganesh, if you are speaking something, I'm not sure, I'm not able to hear you. So please check with your audio. Yeah,
Hello.
Soumya, you can. Yeah, Ganesh, tell me.
Yeah, I have also prepared the PDD, but I will, as I have created first time, so I will want you to review it and suggest how, if
Uh,
anything more is need to be
Upload
added.
it in the chat, Ganesh, because if you want to have it as a, if you want to have a review, then people should see it. Don't keep it for yourself. That's not required. Please be open, at least for the training time, because if you are not able to showcase what you have done, then we will not be able to give the inputs.
Sure, I will upload it right away.
Yeah, please.
And yesterday, I have also uploaded some interview questions that
Hmm.
I have faced last month.
Okay. So what I suggest is don't just put in the interview questions. See, in the previous team, what we did is we got all the interview questions, and we have also written all the interview answers, whatever we need to answer, generic or whatever it might be. Just answer them. Anyone can answer, I guess, because in the teams we have the flexibility to also update the code or update the document directly in the team's application. There is no need for you to open a word document in your local. So go ahead and answer them. Whoever answers can answer them, so that you will get to know that this is the answer. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So Soumya, please share the period.
Sorry, PDD?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, even I am not sure like how it is. But mm,
Okay, can you please explain me with the process and what are we doing?
we did this PDD with the UiPath task capture.
Okay.
We captured the activities that we are going to do in the project.
Mm-hmm.
Like we are going to scrap the data from RPA sample website and put it in Excel and then move it to the orchestrator dispatcher.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we are going to do in this project. So
Okay.
for that I have given some input. Mm, and application used I have given Chrome
Okay.
and the language, and as is it is the RPA sample app, and the sales opportunities I clicked on it, and then in the quantity if it is greater than 5 we are going to add it in the dispatcher. If it is less than 5 we are just going to leave it as it.
Okay.
I don't know what is the statistics, so I
Mm-hmm.
just left it.
Okay, that's fine. So let me explain you what is statistics. Can you go to the top once?
Yeah.
So we are using one process, and we are having two windows. I think you clicked on two windows while using task capture. And there are three actions, maybe click activities, three mouse clicks specifically, and it took a total of 10.3 seconds of time while recording.
Okay.
Okay, that's the process statistics, high level statistics. The more you record, the more data you will find it here.
Statistics.
Okay, if you see here in RPS sample apps, there are two clicks, and in sales opportunity space, there is one click.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, please explain. You need to explain,
Input.
Soumya.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did not do anything here. I thought it is autofilled and I felt it is right, so I don't know what to edit in this.
You need to
And
explain.
I left.
You need to explain the team what we need to do. See, you are a BA. Think that you are a BA, and you took information from client, and you need to explain it to the developers within the offshore team, or any team, or to a developer team. How do you do that? Just go ahead and do it.
Okay.
So
So yeah.
continue from screenshots, please.
So yeah, this is the first page we are going to get after we open the site RPA sample. In this, we have to click on sales opportunities. Once we click on it, we are going to get this page, and we need to scrape this data and scrape this data and put it in Excel. And we need to filter only the data with the quantity which is above 5, and we leave the rest of the data as is. Yeah, the quantity which is above greater than 5, we are going to add it in the dispatcher queue.
Okay.
Input data description. I don't know what is input data description. We are not giving any input here. We are just scraping the data.
Okay.
To be processed. Yeah, this is how the to be process is like what we are going to implement in the project.
Okay.
In scope, is the all the requirements are in scope, and there is no out scope. Everything can be done in the
Okay.
project. Everything
Okay.
can be done.
That's a wrong way of explanation. See, what is the
Okay.
difference between in scope and out scope is there can be multiple modules within the process. Okay, the in scope will be scraping or opening the application, or checking data, and adding the data into orchestrator. That is in scope. Out of the scope is maintenance of the web application. So what if the website is down? We are not going to work anything on it. Okay, incorrect information in the sample data, or data that's provided, we are not responsible for maintaining the correct or valid data. Whatever data that we have, that we are processing, but we are not validating that particular information. Okay, and having empty data, so that's also not in our scope. Okay, so we need to make sure whatever data we have, that is there in the in scope. Remaining items, you need to mention it as out of the scope. So any other out of the scope items, can anyone tell?
Duplicate data.
Okay, duplicate data normally we'll handle, so that should be there in this in scope, like it need not be mentioned.
Okay.
So
And
that
just
we have
one
to.
thing, Soumya. Sorry,
Yeah.
one thing here. So when you created this PDD, they are using task structure. There were two options. One is build the diagram, and one is other one. So which one you have used?
I think
Yeah, I record.
Word document.
I used the other option and yeah, I translated to Word file.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yep. Please continue. So what are the exceptions that you are handling? What are known exceptions and
Exception,
what are unknown exceptions?
yeah, exception is what if the page if it doesn't open,
Mm.
we need to handle that.
Mm.
And the other kind of exception, mm,
Okay. See, there can be multiple exceptions while working with the projects. So in projects, we normally will not work only with one application, right? We may work with Outlook to send out emails, or we may need to make an API call. So will you handle that? For example, if you want to send Outlook email and you found error, and that is a known error because of the network issue, we may have that particular element has failed. So that is a known issue, and how to handle that? Uh, if it is if there is an error in the Outlook, we will just log a message in the orchestrator that Outlook is failed. If it is an API request, and if it is API call, and or any exception, how do you handle? So if there is any exception, then we will retry it using retry scope for 3 times. If retry is failed for 3 times, then we will raise a exception, business rule exception, and continue with the next transaction item. But if it is kind of successful in first or second try, then it will continue with the execution of the process. Okay, if there is an unknown exception, like if there are any system exceptions that come in place, if before moving it to production, we will do a thorough check on what are the with different data sets and data samples, so that we will be aware of all the data options that are available. So any kind of data can be processed, but if you are unable to record specific item, then we will that will be taken as system exception. And while in production, we need to verify what type of closely monitor and check why that particular application or that exception occurred, and we need to rectify it. If it is just because of website down or anything that we cannot handle, then we will log, and we will try to retry it after some time. If it is something that we missed out, then we will update it in the code. So all the known business rule exceptions you will mention in 3.5.1. Okay.
those known exceptions should be written here or
Yeah, that you can return right here. See, in the first day I mentioned, like, if the input is 5, then that is a business rule exception. So that like here you can mention if the ID is something, or if the currency is more than this amount, then don't process this item, and that should be taken up manually. For example, there is loan processing. There will be such kind of scenarios. Just you can say that, okay, we are doing a loan processing, and data will be taken up from the application, and it will be added to our internal application from different websites. While adding the input, if the application loan amount, or if the loan amount is more than 20 lakhs, then that will be added to a separate queue, and a email will be sent to manually process. But if it is less than 20 lakhs, then an application request is created within the internal application system, and ERP application, and that will be sent out for approvals and further processing. So that is the automation that we have done. So, okay, you need to be a good storyteller as well while you are working with interviews. Okay, scroll down. So for any unknown exception, we have a global email, or a COE email, where everyone will be notified, and someone who is working in that project in that particular shift will check with that particular application exception. Okay. Okay, application errors and exception handling, known and unknown that you have. Scroll down. Application or crash, recover and retry 3 times. That's fine. Unknown applications, so unknown notifications that you can try. So yes, reporting is very important. Like, how will you do reporting? So Rahul, if Rahul, right? So Rahul, in the interview tomorrow, if you are asked what type of reporting do you have, so you need to say that normally we maintain everything in a single log. For every execution, that log will be updated, and that log will be sent out to stakeholders on weekly basis or monthly basis. And in some projects, there is also a requirement to send an email after every execution, because it is a critical application or critical process, and user need to be immediately notified with the process. That is the reason we are sending out email. And in the report, what are you maintaining? In the report, we are maintaining an identifier to properly identify what is the input, and we will write, or we will update what is the start time and what is the end time of that particular transaction item. So if you see in the orchestrator, there is start time and end time for every orchestrator item. But instead of going to that, if we see in the report directly, there will be start time and end time, so that we'll get to know how much time did it take to process that particular item. And in the same way, we will also mention if the particular transaction item is throwing a business rule exception, system exception, or it is a success item. So these things will mention it in the report that we generate manually. Okay, so process reels, we have yes, transaction logs we have. I'm seeing a lot of messages. What are the messages about? Basak is mentioning something. Okay. Can I have the meeting invite? Okay, let me just share meeting invite to her. Then with that. Okay. Participant share invite. Copy invite. Okay. So just give it to her. Fine. So yes, additional resources, video recording of the process will be available, and any business libraries, anything that you have, that you will have it here, process mapping and all. Okay, so what exactly, so it's already Thursday or Friday for you, and uh, so tomorrow is the first week completion, I would say. So we need to complete a project, and how much time do we still have in our current meeting? We have 30 minutes exactly. So we'll go ahead and use this template and create a process. So Rak, do we have Rahul, since you have interview tomorrow, take this as an
Yeah.
example, and can you create a process in RE framework?
Okay.
Okay, and I'm giving you only 15 minutes of time to update the item in orchestrator.
So what I need means in dispatcher workflow. So what I need to make.
Okay, leave about dispatcher and performer, then go ahead and create a simple process. Okay, the process you are going to create is something that Soumya have created or documented. Soumya, be a interviewer for Rahul, and you need to guide him, or you need to ask him questions and he need to answer. Okay, so let's do that activity today.
Okay.
Ask questions relating this project or
In this project, the same project, you need to give him this project, and you need to ask him as if this is an interview.
okay, Rahul. The project is like you need to scrape the data, entire data from the RPA sample website, and then you need to filter only the quantities which is greater than 5 and put and upload it to the orchestrator. That's the thing you have to do.
Sure. Sharing screen.
Can you please explain like how you will do it?
So
The process.
first I will use data scraping to capture this data from RPA sample website and store that in data table. And by using this data table, I will dispatch that to orchestrator queues.
You will put the entire data to the orchestrator.
No, no, I
And
have applied condition like you said quantity is not more than what.
right.
So I will apply that condition as well.
Okay.
So, Rahul, take that we have 11 members as interview panel, and you are the only person who is working with the interview. So, everyone can answer or ask questions. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, please go ahead with the questions. Rahul should be able to answer. Go ahead, it will be fun. Trust me. Go ahead with your questions.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
Uh, Hi Rahul. So Rahul, just tell me what is this dynamic selector?
So dynamic selectors are like we can implement it to capture dynamic data. Like we can use like in curly bracket, we can use the variable to select the particular data to use dynamic selector. Is that RPA sample website? RPA sample.
Swami, you need to give proper inputs. So, give the proper URL as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
rpasample.com.
RPA sample.
Mm,
It's right URL RPA sample.
Try RPS samples. RPA SAMPLS.
yeah. Yes, you have to click on sales opportunity.
Someone could you please paste in the URL for Rahul, please?
No, I
Yeah,
have
I
found
got
that.
it. Okay.
Will you use RE framework for this project, Rahul?
Yes, to implement it, but for dispatcher we need to like set up a different sequence. I will use that sequence in RF framework as well.
So Rahul,
Implemented.
you need to be intelligent enough in to answer these questions. Like if user or if interviewer is not asking you to do in RE framework, then don't do it. Say that within the time limitation we can go
Okay.
with a simple process, and if you have more time, then we can go with RE framework, and I can explain you how to do it.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, I also want to know like what kind of project can be done in a simple workflow, and like what should be done in RE framework, only with RE framework.
So if there is a transaction data, means like there is multiple data we need to process. So we need to implement it that in RE framework. It is it compulsory to implement that in RE framework. Means it is good practice. And in sequence, we can implement it like small workflows. If there
Okay,
is a not much,
Rahul, a simple
yeah.
way to answer. Any kind of project can be developed in any process, like process or a temp workflow or anything. But if we want to use the existing data or existing workflows, and if we want to have proper logging mechanism and exception handling, And if the project is bigger, so that we can scale the project, like even if we want to add some new code without changing complete project structure, then we can go with RE framework. But if it is just for scraping the data and uploading it into some application where we don't require too much of exception handling and it requires quick implementation, then there is no need to go for RE framework. Okay. Rahul, am I clear? Okay, I think there is an issue with Rahul's machine. Rahul?
Hello? No, no,
Yes.
it's
Can he
yeah.
talking on the
I will open it again.
Okay. So if you are using the same machine for tomorrow's interview, then please keep everything ready before the interview. Yes, Pasak, please go ahead and ask your
Yeah.
question.
I'm sorry I'm attending late. Did you explain about something left framework
So,
before or now?
okay, so tomorrow Rahul have an interview as a UiPath developer. So now,
Sorry, Robert.
okay, so we have 11-member team in the panel who is interviewing Rahul. You can also be a panel member and you can ask questions to Rahul if you want.
Okay. Okay. Then maybe I can contribute.
Please
Thank
go.
you.
Please go ahead and ask questions.
I don't have any questions right now. I couldn't find anything, but I will ask later. Thank you.
I didn't get exactly what you were saying. Basa, can you please type in the message? So while Rahul is doing that, can someone create a document for Rahul's process? So I can give this task to, let me just think, Ganesh. Ganesh, can you please unmute?
Yes.
So I want you to create an implementation document, like how you implement this particular process. Once it is created, how will you deploy this into a production? Can you please list down the steps while Rahul is creating?
Okay. Okay, I will create it right away.
Yes, please go ahead and do it. And I also explain to the team what you are doing so that it will be easier. Okay, so Basak, yes, RE framework will be covered like we are discussing on RE framework itself. So the meeting recording is available. We are continuously recording so that you can check it for the first 15-20 minutes that you have missed. But yes, if required, we need to do the project in RE framework if a interviewer asks you. But if not, go with a simple workflow.
Thank you.
Will the interview be practical also? Like what Rahul is going to?
Yes, 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 it will be.
It's actually with UiPath, means like directly with product based UiPath organization.
So like the questions that you have asked for Rahul in the initially, like I don't know the answer for any of the questions. Like, will I be able to answer once the 1 month of session will be over?
Yes, you will be able to, but you need to practice. The main important point is, are you practicing it or not?
Like what kind of practice I need to do, like apart from this class?
Okay, so the class is only for 1 hour, but how much time are you spending? Like this question was asked in the initial demo session. I really like this question. How much time are you spending on yourself after completing this class? Are you spending half an hour or 20 minutes or 30 minutes or 2 to 3 hours to complete the training by yourself? That's what matters. So That's completely on your part. If you are
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you are
that.
working more, then you will get to know more queries and you will be able to solve them. But if you are not working, if you are going only with question and answer basis, you will not be able to answer the scenario based questions that will be asked.
I am watching the Udemy's and the YouTube channels, so I'm just practicing with the uh, things. So, but still, I don't know like how the real time this scenario based questions can be answered, even if I work on the activities.
So just think scenario based questions also as a normal coding practice. Okay, there will say question that's asked, then that you need to find a solution. Don't also think too much on whether that you will be able to solve it or not. But understand, if you have made a mistake and if you failed in one interview, understand but try to find an answer for that. Maybe in the first one or two interviews you will fail, but the third one you will definitely get it. Okay, so here Rahul is failing. Can anyone tell me why he is failing and what why he is going with CV scope? Is it
I
necessary?
think it needs to Chrome extension, downloading the Chrome extension.
You are absolutely correct, Basa. Can you please guide Rahul on how to do that?
Sure. Uh, I think he is fine. From tools.
Go to tools.
You go to tools and Google Chrome. Yeah, Chrome. Click on Chrome.
You have to download the extension.
Yeah.
So, did you enable the extension, Rahul? That's what Basak is asking you.
Yeah, I have enabled it now.
Then you will be able to do it. So, while you are working on an interview, there is no need for you to
Yeah, okay.
add open browser and all. You can go ahead and directly scrape the data.
Yeah, I have trying that, but what happened? I thought it will be issue with.
Think interview as a quick way of doing the things rather than working completely on the each and every activity. Okay, you can click anywhere in the table.
You could just access the sales opportunities directly, that URL. So
Okay, it will be stored.
here maximum number of results, change it to 0.
0.
Okay, Pragati, you are an interviewer.
Yeah.
Don't make it too easy.
No.
So Rahul, let's make it
Yeah.
simple. Can you write this data in the Excel?
Sure.
Sorry, Rahul. I think Vajrang, we should point, otherwise it will fail. We have not scrapped the whole data.
Okay. What what did we miss?
So he clicked on no,
So there were multiple page spans, right?
It depends
Oh,
No,
upon
no
only
multiple.
if
Yeah, here it is not. Sorry, I was just thinking about Acme and talking about this.
yeah,
Sorry.
got it. You just need to understand the application as well while you're developing.
while I was working on this, while I was not able to filter the quantity using filter data tables. I could able to filter with other scenarios like filter only with the country thing, but with the quantity the output was not proper. I don't know why.
Try to find out the answer. Post it in the UiPath forum or post it in the Teams channel. Let people know. Let them help you.
Yeah, but next to the number, like some arrow kind of thing was coming, and it was not filtering properly.
You may need to use like or select query instead of using a filter. Okay. Or starts with
In
or starts with
Sorry.
something or starts with a particular number or something like that. You can definitely try. Let's do it. Let's do it in the current meeting itself.
But for number, how can we use start with? Only for letters we can use that, right?
It depends. If you can you like if you are able to convert that particular row into or particular column into string, then you can do that. But whatever you said is correct.
So can you tell me some real-time robots like which you are doing in your like regular basis? Like I have no idea like what kind of robots can be developed with
Most
attended, unattended.
Mostly we develop all unattended robots, and there are no attended robots that we develop at this point of time because robots always rise in the licenses are with unattended robots and the business requirements are also with unattended robots itself. There can be attended robots, but that's not in our scope. That can be an answer. The other answer that you can definitely tell is like you developed couple of attended robots for desk automation, front office automation. So there are two types of automations: back office and front office. Back office is unattended automation. Front office is attended automation. That's the difference that you can tell. Rahul, you are
I
missing
think
a
what
simple
you
logic.
Yeah,
already
I have. Oh, no, I have in, clicked that particular option
No,
twice.
no, no. See, why are you using that actually? You already have the web application open. Just go for data scraping now. Why are you opening the
Yeah,
application?
yeah, I have used, but what happening? Like when you are opening the website, we need to
No,
click
no,
on sales opportunity.
no. Directly go ahead to sales opportunity and extract the data. Think in interview perspective. Don't go
Yeah, yeah, correct. I
for
will.
complete opening up application and all. Just explain to the user stating that okay, I will have this already open so that I can make it easier. And again, you added
Okay.
attached browser inside open browser. That's wrong. And attached browser, open
So,
browser, you kept it inside Internet Explorer, and for attached browser that is in Chrome. Minimize it. If you minimize it, then it will. See, these are the mistakes you will make if you are not experienced, frankly speaking. In the first instance itself, I will get to know if you already have experience or not.
Yeah.
And that browser automatically comes with data scraping, so you can tell it open browser.
Yeah. So extra data
Rahul,
table.
if you have some time, maybe on the Academy orchestrator module, they have few examples as well. Those are
Exactly.
very good, like if you want to go through one or two.
Okay.
Rahul, this is an exception. Now, what are you planning to execute, and how are you trying to resolve this? Can you tell me that? What is the issue,
Mm,
exact issue?
extract data table is not declared. It may be in means the particular data table it's not defined. They are saying. So
Exactly.
there is no variable with extract data table.
Why don't you? How will you create it?
So I will create it here.
So in extract data table, do you know what is continue on error to true?
Yeah. So while if it's there in a error, it will also go to the next activity. And so whatever data it will be scrap, it will write that in Excel.
Okay. But that there is a different way how you need to think on this. See, if you don't have uh, select next item, just think it, understand it, and try to imagine there is a data table, and there are 10
Okay.
pages, and there is a pagination, and there is next button. Okay. So
Okay.
in the data table selector, you will give next selector link below max
Yeah.
number of results. So
Okay.
what this continue on error will do is it will check for that next link selector.
Mm-hmm.
If it is not available, then it will throw an exception.
Okay. So for
Okay.
that it will
So
be
for that we are saying continue on error to true. Okay. Second thing is for every at the last selector, it will wait for 30 seconds.
okay.
Okay. So
By default time is 30 seconds.
exactly. So if you want to change the default time, how will you change it?
So I can set time. There is a so there is a timeout time. So I can set here in milliseconds.
Can you tell set it to 5 seconds, please? What it will do when we
I will
set it
say
to 5 seconds?
if we need to set up.
So you added 50 seconds.
Sorry, 5 seconds.
So can someone tell me what will it do after 5 seconds, or why is it waiting for 5 seconds?
So before clicking on the next, it will wait for 5 seconds.
No. So to get the next item or next selector, it will wait for 5 seconds, or to get that particular element. If it is able to find that element, then it will start scraping the data. Prati, did you understand? Yes, no,
Done.
all right. So go to task manager and kill robot process. Then you will be able to work. You're taking too much time, Rahul.
Yeah,
This
the laptop is slow. Means it.
this is not suitable for interview.
Yeah, I will use different laptop for
Try to get
interview
a
time.
good hands-on laptop. And I think you closed the Chrome browser. You need to open it. not here, manually open it. So if you see here, attached browser is waiting for 30 seconds to have the Chrome available, and within 30 seconds if Rahul is able to open that particular website, then the execution will continue. Don't stop it, let it continue. Type in faster, rpsamples.com. Yep. Sales opportunities. See that, okay. Now don't
Yes.
stop, don't stop actually. What you can do is rpsamples.com. Yeah. You can use retry option in UiPath, so that you can use to get it.
Okay.
Okay, there is a discussion that's going on.
So now it will capture everything.
You click on sales opportunities. Yeah. Now it will fetch because the recording was from sales opportunities, right?
Yeah.
Now can you please optimize this? You have 3 minutes. Okay, filter everything with France. I don't want to use uh, filter activity within UiPath. I want you to use select query or link queries. All I need is from third. I want everything from France to be selected and written.
Okay. So
Okay, so is he doing a correct or is he adding it at a correct place?
No,
We want to add to the queue, right?
No, within this
no, link query. You want to write link query.
okay, he's writing the link query after writing the range, not before writing the range.
before
Yeah.
So I'm not actually.
Okay.
Hello.
We have 1 minute of time, so please complete it, or else we can close the meeting for today. Rahul, what I suggest you to do is go to browser and see different ways to filter data table, and you will find 4 ways. Filter data table in 4 ways in Chrome. Just go ahead and see it. And in tomorrow's interview, if it is with UiPath, you will definitely get this question. Okay, filtering
Yeah.
about a filtering and all. I have interviewed. I was interviewed for UiPath, and I have also taken interviews for UiPath. So, uh, yeah,
So
first link. So that will definitely help you. Okay, please go ahead and check that.
they will ask like link queries. Max.
Exactly. They will concentrate more on coding if you are saying that you have 2 years experience. Okay. So today's meeting is completed. So you might have understood like what will be the interview or how you will exactly face questions in an interview. So do you think you are ready for an interview? How many of you think that okay, this is what I can do it very easily? How many of you think? Can you please raise your hand? Raise the hand in the chat. Let's see. Praveen, Akash, Pragati, Basak, Ganesh. Okay, Maha, nice, good to see. What about Prashant, Sonam, Soumya, Akash?
I am confident with the activities,
Mm.
like all the activities I am aware of,
Mm.
but the scenario based questions I am not sure. I really don't know how to answer the scenario based questions. But like if you give me like this kind, I am okay with doing all these things.
Yeah, if you are able to answer this, think that you got the job. Okay.
But link queue queries I have not. I use the data table. This queries I have to. I know connecting with the database activities.
Yeah.
Link queue I have not worked on it.
Yeah.
But other kind of activities, yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. Please go ahead and check that. Okay. Because in an interview, or
Yeah.
even if you want to answer these questions, those extra add-ons are required for sure.
Okay, this link queue query is for filtering the data table.
Not only data table, any kind of enumerable, any kind of collection.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so today's meeting is completed, and I hope you had a different experience today in finding out how the interviews are happening. So, any questions? Let's take it for 2 minutes, or else we can drop off from the call.
Yeah, Vajrang, I want to know like where can we learn this link query? Is there any what can you recommend for learning link query?
See,
Because
normally in
I'm
interviewers and all, you will be asked with the basic interview questions as link queries, and you need not write
okay.
complex link queries. If you are able to filter data, filter list of items, that should be fine. Okay.
Okay.
And in my repo, there is a complete repo only for link queries. Go ahead and check it. I have clearly explained you how to do that, and please go ahead and check. Open my profile in GitHub and find UiPath link queries and post it
Yeah,
in the
sure.
Teams channel if possible. And the other places I have shown you, right? Just now, Rahul shared screen and shown us 4 ways
Okay.
of filtering data. So that will help you as well.
Oh, yeah, sure. Thanks. Thanks, Vajrang.
Yeah. Okay, I'm stopping the meeting recording. Thank you so much for joining. Have a great day.